Okay, we're back. Let's see if we can figure out where this hacking disease comes from. Hello, you, and welcome to some kind of Fox content, and welcome back to Paws of Coal, and a happy Easter still. I don't know how Easter works, but apparently it's still Easter season. But in Paws of Coal, it's still disease season, so we need to get going here. Oh, this is my bed. Your bed, it is very much not made. Oh, that's typical. You really don't like making your bed, do you? The painting overhead by L. Kushevich shows your father holding the world in his paws. Not that long ago, owning such a thing could put you in seriously hot water. What? Having a photo or a painting of my own father? I don't know. Your desk, your longtime companion. This desk has been co-author to many papers. The corkboard above is full of things that might have to wait until... wait if only for a little while. Not enough hours in the day. Yeah, I feel you, my man. And most of them are wasted too. Yeah, I feel you, my man. Okay. But this is actually a very interesting game. I kind of like the concept. I can't get out of my house. Help. Oh, there we go. It is actually a very interesting concept, this having to figure out what where that disease comes from. The world is full of mysteries, but hopefully this little setup of yours will unravel at least one. What am I working on here? You're casting doubt on a consensus. Every 2-bit gardener knows fully grown specimens of the golden trumpeter will prevent nearby saplings from growing. And all the botanists assume the trumpeter's roots catch onto the roots of nearby saplings and feed off them in the manner of, say, a parasitic vine. Wait, is this game trying to hint to a parasite in the wine? Not the vine, but the wine. But nearby saplings won't grow even if they are planted in separate pots. Hence your hypothesis. Yeah, again, if an English word contains th, I can't pronounce it. Atmospheric parasitism. There was no th in that, and I still struggled. The trumpeter somehow drains the saplings of nutrients using the air as a medium. I'm a genius. Careful now, pride is where genius goes to fall off a cliff. Oh well. How's the experiment going? The results are still unclear, but you set up a rigorous experiment. It should yield something of value sooner or later. Okay. Okay. Oh, look at this. Is this my garden? God, I'm good. Wait, what happened? Oh, there I am. Look at this. Oh, you can't see my cursor, but I got like bonsai trees and everything. That might be the greatest. Oh, God, I'm gonna get eaten. A royal emissary. Imperious. Stately. The eagle looks down at you from his perch. I thought this was my balcony, but okay. Yeah, so this is private property. He looks you over from the crest of your spines to your rear paws. Oh God, I am gonna get eaten. Are you Charles of Burroughs? Who's asking? You are the botanist, son of Herbert. Did you get it, Herb? The royal advisor. It's a statement, not a question. He's declaring you son of Herbert. I am emissary of the crown. Somehow you can hear the capital letters of the king's title as he says it. It's quite a talent. So... No, I'm cool. I'm cool. You managed to nod. You can't tell if you managed to be cool. I am cool. I just said it. Shut up, game. Your presence is required by his sovereignty, King Law. Well, I am working on 2 projects here. You are to leave with haste for Pride. There you'll report at the Royal Court at Hayden. Any questions, sir? Only one. Yes. What is this about? I know nothing of the sovereign's intentions, nor would I presume to know. Farewell, and do not tarry, Charles of Burrows. Well, I can't with the... Oh, could you take me there? Okay. I can't leave right now. There are bunnies dying. What am I to do? I haven't checked everything. I'm gonna check everything. I don't give a frick about no king and its whatnot. Is this my study? That's a rather big study. It looks like a beaver. It's a painting of the master scholar Dabrovit, the beaver. Aha! By the impressionist painter L. Kusevich. Dabrovich works to turn the science from an incoherent collection of and prejudice into a true discipline. Before him, philosophizing; after him, empiricism. He's a personal hero of yours. Your library looms over you, as always. It will still be looming by the time you come back from the audience with the king, won't it? I hope so. You'll have to go and see. What are you looking for? Chemistry, actually. Dry textbooks and dangerous experiments, what's not to like? Okay. Coal Carbides and Co. by Edwin. A Color to Die For. This one could be... disappointingly, its writing is as dry and lifeless as the ink on its page. It makes you wonder if Harold wrote the book, who wrote the title. What do you want to know? Are any inks toxic? There we go. A number of oil paints are famously toxic if ingested. Michelin Scarlet and Blackboard Green, to name 2. And there's vague mentions of a few cases of notable painters being poisoned by unintentional ingestion. What about inks? At the tail end of an interminable passage, I just woke up. These words are way too words for me right now. The details of the very scant, what the frick is scant, research done into zoological effects of inks, it concludes. Therefore, as we can see, only a few specific green inks have been shown signs of toxicity to animals. There we go. So it's not the orange ink. Put the book away. Let's try coal. See if it's the lamps. Edwin's a bit verbose, but reliable. The book is suitably heavy and stout. Should actually check both of these. The dark crumbly stuff keeps modernity. I just seriously just woke up. Chugging along. 2 headings stick out to you. Black lung and spontaneous explosion. I hope the bunnies don't start spontaneously exploding. A miner's disease caused by prolonged exposure to coal dust. The physiochemical mechanisms of the illness is unclear, but the leading theory suggests that it may be caused by irritation of the lung tissue by coarse airborne coal particles. Trouble breathing, a hoarse cough, and chronic fatigue. No, this isn't it. Spontaneous explosion? An unexplained but well recorded phenomenon. Occasionally, airborne coal dust in closed spaces will combust explosively without warning and in the absence of open flames. What causes this is a mystery, but mining operations take measure to prevent the buildup of coal dust in the air. That's terrifying. Okay, so nothing there. on all things happen based on. Okay. So nothing there. Can I get something with the wine and the food? The War of Winemaking. Here we go. What am I? A collection of essays. I don't need essays. But yeah, craft. Ranging from plain descriptions of the winemaking process to heady discourses on the virtues of a true connoisseur. What do you want to know? Wine going bad, maybe? That seems unlikely. Sour grapes and other villainy. It details how wine can go bad at every stage of its life. Oh, well. From the grape to the bottle. However, it seems that going bad mostly means turning sour or brimstony. Repulsive, but not really dangerous. Okay, so maybe the wine, isn't it? What are tannins? Tannins are chemical compounds in the wine that make it dry. It produces that desiccated sensation on your palate after a sip of dry red. I'll put the book away. Okay, what else do we have? Foodstuff of the kingdom. What do we want to look up? I want to look up... I actually think the carrots. A root vegetable high in fiber and low on starch and sugars, carrots are ubiquitous and widely loved by animals of most estates. They are native to the kingdom proper and diet is a staple of rabbits, moles, and other subterranean commoners. Yeah, see, okay, if it is the carrots, then why is this disease limited to bunnies? Oh. The grass species native to the southern continent, low in fiber and high in starch. Was introduced to the kingdom and has since enjoyed great popularity among boars, bears, and other stewards. It makes for a hearty stew. Scurry and lettuce. A wild vine whose leaves were only recently bred for consumption in the vicinity of the town of Scurries. It's a low fiber and low starch. Bitter and slightly nutty in taste. It is eaten fresh. It features almost exclusively in squirrel cuisine and is experimental high-fashion restaurant. That didn't help me anything. Did we read all of these? I feel like we did, right? Did I read the history? No time for now. Yeah, okay. We did. Okay, let's get on with this. So, I don't think that made us any wiser. However, it did maybe exclude the ink as the culprit here. Since it is only green ink and not orange that seems to be dangerous. Okay, but that should be everything we have checked now. Now we can go up and talk to the angry horde. And then apparently I need to go and see the king. I don't know what that's about. No, I didn't mean to go up there. Should I talk to the doctor? I should probably talk to the doctor. Doc, is he dead yet? How's it going? Have you tried that new wine? Is that a red? I'm not big on tannins, old boy. I avoid reds entirely. You're thinking the wine could have something to do with the outbreak? I'm just trying to rule it out for now. Sensible, but I haven't had any. Hold on, though. What about Batesy's kids? You think they dipped into their old man's supply? Yeah, see, that's a good point. I don't think he let... Kids will be kids. Maybe Linda cooked with it. Right. He says, cupping his chin. You can tell he's picturing it. A glass straight in the pot, possible. Anyways, I think it's best if you ask around and see if any healthy rabbits drank it. That should help sort it out. Okay. Carbide lamps. I've been seeing them around lately. He plants his chin down into a paw, but that's about the extent of it. You suspect they had something to do with it. How come? They are a novelty in the minds and a poorly understood one at that. I'm thinking you might want to take this one up with Jeffrey. See if you can get him chatting. I'll check him. And then show him the note. Let me see. He takes the note from you and squints over it. The way I read it, old boy, Batesy didn't come home for his lunch break the day that he fell ill. He ate with Quince instead. Meaning we can't account for Batesy's activities that day based on the state their apartment. He hands the note back. I'd talk to Quince if I were you. What's Quince like? You know how vermin are. You can never tell what the blazes they're thinking in their scaly heads. But he's the attentive sort, and Batesy likes him enough to make him an apprentice. Any idea where I might find him? Not the faintest, but if he's working, I'll check the engine room, perhaps. Thanks for your help, Doc. And then, any more general advice? If you get stuck on one thing, go work on another. That always helped me at the academy. Yeah, okay. Great minds and all that, eh, old boy? Doc, I just received summon from the king. You're kidding me, old boy. What, just now from the king himself? Yeah, a royal messenger landed on my balcony. He lowers his voice, leans in a bit. They say what for? No, it was very hush-hush. That doesn't concern you, old boy, the secrecy? No, I think it's just how they do things. I guess you'd know better, but with your father on the court and all. But in my experience, hush-hush rarely spells a good time. You just keep an eye out, will you, old boy? I sure will, Doc. But I need to go. So how can I be here when I need go? Oh well. Out we go. Okay. Let's go talk to the angry mob over here. This is not the angry mob, but I'm talking to him. Hi, Jimmy. Give me the elevator operator. A young rabbit looks at you lazily. And my game crashed. Okay, let's try that again. Can you take me up? Sir? Are you alright? Yes. Then which part of out of order don't you understand, he asks, pointing to the sign in the elevator. It really does say out of order. I don't understand order. Order in this case is noun, meaning a proper or functioning condition. Syntactically, it is the object of the full... Oh, yeah, I can't be bothered. Sure. How do you know so much about language? I took a few lessons from... Yeah, some years back. Yeah. Yeah, he's this old owl in scurries, a real clever bloke. Okay, bye. So we need to fix the elevator, so I can be taken up. There's the elevator. Like most things in burrows, safe, carrots, and pickaxes, there's only one. This is the elevator. It pulleys reach up into a shaft of roughly hewn stone. A vertical tunnel, there's a light at the end of it. A sign hanging over the door reads, out of order. Leave it be. Okay, what's going on here? Hi, Rowan. We can't allow this to become a precedent. How we let them treat us today is how they'll treat us every day. Oh, it's like it's a riot or a strike. Aye. Ain't it true? Oh, we're in Britain now. Remember, there are those of us who carry the load, Rowan nods as you approach, and those of us who sit atop it. How's the strike going? How are you doing here? It's going steady, thanks for asking. Steady as a rock, ain't it? At least for now. Wait, why for now? Rowan's not exactly the happy-go-lucky type. We can't get ahead of ourselves. Things might turn on us yet. But it's going well currently. Let's hope it stays that way. Thanks. We can't complain. That's why we strike. Sure, we can. His lips curls into a smile. Look at us. Yeah, exactly. What's your strike about? You haven't been out much lately, have you? He smiles not unkindly and scratches his head under just the helmet. We've been at it for 2 days now. You caught us in a lull, Charlie. It would have been obvious otherwise. In short, it's about the outbreak. We want the Burroughs Mining Company to show willingness to deal with this threat to their workforce. What are you demanding from the company? Some blazing, he wraps his knuckles around his helmet. What the word? Accountability. Some blazing accountability. Everyone that's sick works for him. Not true. Not true. There's the wife and the kids. But they're playing dumb. All those miners just happen to get sick in the same way at the same time. That's the game, he shrugs. But we need them to acknowledge the issue, and we need them to make a gesture of good faith. One that involves money. Aye, they need to pay up for what they've done, eh? Yeah, you hear the click of gritting teeth as Rowan pinches the bridge of his nose. We want them to fund a serious effort to stop the outbreak, that's all. Why is it important that the help involves money? That's their overarching value, Charles. They gotta have skin in the game, boyo. Crab's right. Any other response can be made slapdash and without real commitment. How did you deliver the demands here? We sent an anonymous letter. Rowan wrote it and I slipped it under Orwell's door. That's right. Why send a letter instead of making demands in person? Well, I'm scared. Shut up. Blimey, Charlie, he shakes his head. If they don't know who sent it, they can't nab Rowan. You gotta keep up, Charlie. He clicks his tongue. More generally, it helps. See, I think they forgot to switch it around. I think the he clicks his tongue should be in a, I don't know. They will off the work first. Okay. Where was it? Let me ask you something else. I want to ask about being sick. Hey, Inigo, I wanted to ask you about you getting sick. Oh yeah? And why's that? I'm helping Doc cure the outbreak. The three of them straighten out a bit. You got their attention. You're doing this on your own time, on your own coin. I'm doing this I want to help out. You know what, Rowan? He chuckles as he turns to his friend. This is like the thing you were saying earlier, the thing about charity as absolution of responsibility. That's right. Through this act of charity, Charles is helping to absolve the carried class of its responsibilities towards the carrier class. Right, he's letting the higher-ups get carried away. No, crap, no, that's... Oh. No one is getting carried away. In our example, Orwell is the carried class and we're the carrier class. And since Charles is willing to solve a problem, which by all right is Orwell's remit, he is tacitly absolving Orwell of his responsibility towards us. I'm not trying to do anything like that. And yet, he shrugs in lieu of finishing the thought. In short, Charlie, I ain't telling you a thing. Oh, well, great. I mean, it's only on account of the life of your fellow bunnies, but money, I guess. We're no suckers. Yeah, exactly. What about the miners who are currently sick? Don't you care about their well-being? What if I help your cause somehow? I think that's speaking their language. They perk up at the sound of that. Well, that's kind of you, Charlie. He looks uncertainly at Rowan, who has planted his chin into a paw. But I'm not sure you can... Unless... No, don't say anything. Unless you were to get Orville to fund your research into the outbreak. He looks up with a smile breaking across his lips. Yeah, see, it ain't about solving the fucking problem. It's just about money. Inigo's eyes go wide with excitement. Crab frowns. Huh? Ask Orville to pay you. If you can show us a reasonable check from him, maybe Inigo tells you what he knows. What do you say, Inigo? Sounds good to me. What do you say, Charles? Deal? I'll see what I can do. That's all we're asking. Yeah, thanks for the freaking help. Okay, so it's not exposure to tomatoes. That's not the problem here. A minor strike is in full swing of below the general cacophony of stamping feet, boisterous conversation, and the errant slurred launch towards the mansion. You can hear a steady chant. No cure, no coal. No cure, no coal. You could have been a little more, creative. Huh. Okay. Aldrin into the door to Orwell's mansion. Hang on just a second here. Checking everything. The Burroughs notice board. A few notices hang from the dusty corkboard. Do you want to read any? Poles and cardstock. Half off. Are you children safe? No, hot rabbits. Okay, I need to read all of them, I see. He's given 50% off cardstock and poles. A printed notice has been scrawled over with profanities to the point of illegibility. Seems you won't be finding out if your children are safe. Oh well. Need help clearing out old junk in front of your flat? Need 2-3 hardy rabbits. Good pay. Baits. See this one. Carrots. A rambling, meandering, utterly confusing pamphlet. The basic thrust is that carrots are getting less crunchy, and this is a sign of some kind of anti-rabbit conspiracy. And something about making rabbits sick by forcing them to eat foreign foods. Very strange indeed. Okay. Oh, that looks like a guy who gets things done. I'll talk to Hardhead Ed. Sorry, Charlie, I can't let you pass. I'm making sure no one goes to the mine. What are you up to? As I said, making sure the mine stays shut. No digging today, boss. And how's it going? It's pretty quiet. I see. Wait, why are you guarding the mine? Because Rowan and the boys asked me to. For a moment it seems he's done talking, but then he sighs and says, we're trying to get Bossman to help with the boys who are sick. But some of the healthy boys have gone a tad yellow-bellied. They'd rather tuck tail and run back to the mines than rile up the old badger. Hence me. You're expecting someone to try to get past you? Aye. Well, who would try such a thing? Don't know, don't care. How you gonna stop them? I reckon I just aim to stand here. I see. Uh-huh. You sure are interested in the mine, Charlie. Why's that? Curious, that's all. Okay. I appreciate the conversation, boss. Helps pass the time. Why do we call you Hardhead Ed? Because they thought I was a bit soft-headed when I was little. So why didn't they call you soft-headed? Doesn't have the same ring to it. Besides, they've heard someone call me thick-skulled, so they thought hard-headed must be the same thing. Kids, what do they know? It turned out I was plenty hard-headed enough. I like your nickname. It's cute. I like it too. Bye! Okay, so no going in the mine. I think the only thing we need to do now then is talk to the badger. And then maybe go inside the mansion if we can. That's probably a whole kerfuffle inside now. Let's talk to what's going on here. Aldwin, I would bet my fluffy tail that Rowan's fella behind this behind this fooliness. He says to Hubert, his assistant, making a note of the miners associating with him. For future reference, he gives you a curt nod. Aldwin. Charles. He flashes a tiny, almost covert smile. Sir, I'm not sure I can make them out from here. Did we not already establish you needed new spectacles? He sighs. Get on top of it, Hubert. Of course, sir. Can I speak to Orwell? You have to understand, Charles, the director is sick with worry? Huh? Why would he be sick with worry? Why, yes, of course. The director is sick with worry. It would be best not to disturb him. I have a message from the strikers. Why didn't you just say so? In that case, I'm sure the director will see you. Go ahead. No, I still need to talk to you. We're not done talking here. Hang on. What kind of records does the mining company keeps on its employees? Extensive, detailed records. The Borough Mining Company prides itself on its use of the latest in data-driven induction-style bottom-up methodologies. I don't want to know. He looks at me expectantly for a few long moments. You don't budge, you don't blink, you don't move a single hair on your spiny back. Wait, are those hairs? Finally, he releases his gaze and you feel the air is ready for a change of topic. The horror of hearing yet another modern management technique passes the same as it came. You remember the old phrase your old academy mentor used to tell you at the academy? Myself, your father, even yourself, we shall all one day perish. Perhaps even these very castle walls one day will turn to dust. But the dull tales of boring folk reign eternal. Steer clear and you'll lead a happier life. Words to live by. Okay. Can I see them? He sucks on his teeth and clicks his tongue. I'm afraid I can't really do that, Charles. It's against company policy. I needed to help cure the outbreak. Oh, interesting. Well, if you were really keen on seeing our records, which admittedly are a work of art, the director would be able to issue a permit to let you see them. Okay. Have you tried that wine? Oh, sure, it's great red, dry, slightly nutty notes. You should definitely give it a try. Okay, so the kids are sick. They are unlikely to have drank from the wine. And this guy had the wine. He's a rabbit and he's not sick. Wine? Clicked. And then let's just clear the cards too. Cards? What's this about? Have you stained your paws with the new cards Jeffrey is selling? Yes. Okay, so ink. I should really give Jeffrey a piece of my mind. But what's this to you? Just curious, Everyone needs a hobby. Yeah. I see you got a strike on your hands. Yes, he draws out the word like taffy. He's looking out at the miners, and for a second it looks like he's forgotten all about you. They've got this notion in their heads, he says finally, that it is somehow the management's responsibility to deal with the sickness going around. They're calling it an outbreak, he sniggers. But this is hardly the Great Drift's blight of 23 now, is it? That was a potato blight. Tiny black eyes flash with joy behind his thick glasses. He visibly bristles. You can see individual white hairs on his head. It's a question of scales, Charles. The point stands. Anyway, they got no leg to stand on. The medical bills are already covered by His Highness. Oh yeah, right, I gotta see him too. And as soon as the dog sorts out this little problem, we'll see an end to the... I'm gonna let him come up with it. Proceedings. Okay. So we did all of that. Can I talk to Hubert? Charles? No, I wanted to talk to Hubert. You're Aldwin. So Hubert, me talk to Aldwin. Shut up, do. Please. Okay, well, I guess I can. And there we are. Every other home here is dug out, but this one is built up. It is such eccentricity. You've done your due diligence and told Aldwin about your intentions. All that's left is to go in. Do we have time? We have time. Oh, dear Lord, we don't have time. Painting of a landscape. Painting of a landscape. It's painting of a landscape by the Impressionist, a popular and prolific painter. You have a painting of his at home. Painting of a landscape. It's all landscapes. Okay. Guess I have to just bluff. Hi, director. Another badger? A few minor details set apart the painting from the actual badger sitting behind the desk. A few pounds here, a few gray hairs there. Cool. Oh, fire. Painting of a fox. This guy knows what art is. You vaguely remember Doc Hopper mentioning that the previous director of the mine was a fox. This must be a painting of the animal in question. Interestingly, Orwell didn't take it down when he took office here, no, because it's such an inspiration. In the royal style, of course. If it's a painting of a fox, how could it be any different? I see you got good taste here, Mr. Badger. Charles, so good to see you. The director smiles and lifts up a finger apologetically. I'll be with you in a second. Gets back to his writing. He's scribbling something down very meticulously. He takes a long pause to examine his works. A very long pause. His quill is poised above the paper like a fisherman's spear above a pond. He hums to himself, satisfied, and resumes writing slowly, carefully. Oh, no, don't pry. That's evil. And he draws out the word as his quill makes a final flourish. There. Now, what can this humble functionary do for you, Charles? I'd like to have a look at your company records. Oh, am I to assume my humble enterprise is of scientific interest? Please tell me which discipline would my records be enriching? Sociology, I guess? No, medicine. Yes, his voice loses vigor halfway through the monosyllable word. In the awkward silence dampened by 2 layers of brickwork comes the cry from outside, no cure, no coal. I'll tell you what, Charles. I'll let you see our records if you do me a favor. What is said favor, then? It's a mere errand. Yeah, you better pay me. Convince Hardhead Ed to stand down, go for a break, unwind a little. Just allow for things to take their natural course, you see? You believe that without Hardhead Ed guarding the mines, the strike would break up. But what if the disease really is down there? Then we shouldn't let someone back. He snaps his fingers, leaving his index finger pointing at your head and presumably your brain. Hardhead Ed leaves the whole thing, deflates like an old tire. I see. I'm not picking sides here. You help me with this little errand and I help you with your research. Does that make sense, Charles? What What if he takes a break, but but this doesn't break the strike? He smiles like you are a particularly stupid child in need of encouragement. Well, in that unlikely event, I'll still honor my end of the bargain. Even if Ed's departure doesn't stop the strike, I'll give you permission to review the company records. So what do you say? I mean, I don't want to do it because... fine. He claps once, theatrically. I knew we'd see eye to eye. Would you be willing to pay me to find a cure for the outbreak? Oh, he chuckled slightly. Don't find altruism to your liking, Charles. Well, the thing is, the miners won't tell me what I need to know until you've paid me. Should I just say that? Yeah, sure. I see. He's eyeing you with some surprise, his tongue working the inside of his cheek. So it's blackmail. They're making you do their dirty work. They're holding their own health hostage. He leans back, meaty fingers interlocked over belly. I'm fairly impressed. No one has blackmailed me. If you insist, Charles. Still, let me offer you a deal. Tell me who sent you and I'll pay you for your work on the outbreak. An honest sum, well within the Scholars Union rates. I help with the outbreak and you get your answers. I can't. I'm no snitch. Hold on. You'll use that information to oppress the miners who organized the strike. Yeah, let's just be upfront with him. Are you saying that there is more than one organizer? I'm not telling you that. Ha! I almost got you there. Now, where were we? Deal or no deal? Nope. I can't. I'm no... No. Isn't there something else I could do? He looks off to the side. In exchange for my money? Nope. But my other offer still stands, Shall. Get Hardhead Ed to move and I'll give you access to our records. What about a third deal? No dice, Charles. I can barely keep 2 offers in my head, let alone 3. Why did you offer me the deals you offered me? He snorts, curls a whisker between fingers. They can have their president, or they can have their agitators, but they can't have both. Okay, goodbye. I'm not telling you who did it. Well, see, this is a predicament. I really don't want to get him to leave just in case the disease is really down there. But kind of running out of options here. What do we know so far? On the causes of the birth epidemic of gastric stasis, find the cause of gastric stasis so suddenly afflicted. We have testimonials. We have... Hang on. How do I go back? There we go. Evidence. See, it should be something. Carrots, lettuce, and white rice for dinner. That was the same thing that the miners had for a lunch break, right? Talk to the miner Inigo and get clues on the first group who got sick. Talk to Quinch. Okay. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Let's see if we can get this guy to leave. Don't you need to pee or something? Hello, Edward. Let's be formal. Is there some way I could convince you to move? Can't see that happening, Charles. I'm pretty pleased right here where I am. I need to talk his language, so maybe 1. The management might accuse you of organizing the strike. And, oh well, that didn't work. Orville might find some excuse to fire you. Doubt it, Charlie. He loves his bottom line like we love our moms. He taps his finger to his temple knowingly. Aren't you worried you'll be the fall guy for Rowan? Nah, ain't no one really thinking I came up with it. And Orville is pretty sure I don't have half the brains for it. He's just saying it to get us worked up. Okay, I see your point. They are refusing to help me cure the outbreak. A fault line forms on his brow. Come again, Charlie? I've been working with Doc to solve the outbreak, and Inigo refuses to help me. That don't make much sense to me. You wouldn't be lying to me, Charlie. Frankly, it's the truth. So, Inigo's not helping you help us, and Rowan's fine with that? I think it's mostly Rowan's idea, actually. Then say why. They say why. They think setting a precedent for Orville helping is more important than curing this disease as soon as possible. A precedent? He squints at you. Don't say anything. Refusing to help their friends to prove some point, he shakes his massive head. I don't much care for that precedent. So it's all just politics to him, is it? Getting an edge over Orville? They're just thinking of the future. Whose future? Real rabbits are sick right now. Inigo himself barely made it. He stands there in silence for a moment. I don't feel like standing guard no more, Charlie. But I ain't about to move if it ain't about to help. It might help. Orville promised me to help me find out the things I need if you stop guarding the mine. He leans back on his heels. You trust him? Not for a second, but I'm running out of options. That's true. He nods slowly, his mouth working the straw in circles as he contemplates. You know what, Charlie? I might just take a stroll. Maybe see how baked she's doing. What happens, happens, eh? Not solemnly. Hardhead air straightens out, everything went black. Cracks his neck, dragging in his feet lazily down the length of the cavern around the corners, followed by sparkling eyes of unlocking rabbits. It doesn't take long for miners to start skipping past you towards the mine shaft, with shoulders hunched and eyes downcast. Soon enough, the din of the strikers wanes, and the hall lies silent again. Well, this is awkward. So I think I might just leave this episode here. Okay, so apparently we can now conclude somewhat at least that it is not the ink, the orange ink, and it is not the wine. So now it is pointing to maybe the water supply. I'm still on that. And then the food that they have been eating. So that's all I'm left with. I don't know how I can start piecing things together. It would be cool if I could. But I can't. Maybe I'll figure out how to do that in the next one. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you in the next one. Alright, I'm out.